Hi, welcome to my podcast. My name is Jennifer, and today I'll be talking about what kind of media representations of animals is distorting our perception of their extinction risk. So, we grew up watching Disney cartoons with animal characters such as the well-known Mickey Mouse, continuing with Dumbo, Bambi, Zootopia, Madagascar, Finding Nemo, and so on. Vasco in 2001 has suggested that Disney's product cut across age groups as adults consume Disney products together with their children in an effort to recapture fragments of their childhood. And in doing so, introduce their offspring to the same mainstream American values and ideals they cherish growing up. Disney has populated its world with anthropomorphized non-human animals through their gendered, ethnic, and racialized identities to teach their audience important lessons about the Western worldview, its value system, and dominant presuppositions. Non-human animals also plays a key role in creating for Disney an aura of childhood innocence and the general perception that Disney products are wholesome and family-centered. All media messages have embedded values and points of view. Most scholarly analyzed media representations of non-human animals is often interpreting the animal as a secondary to the human, choosing to reflect on how animals teach the viewer what it means to be human or not. Also, media is using animals as surrogates for a discussion of human relationships. In reality, the idea of the animal as an identity in opposition to the human is an illusion for two main reasons. First, humans are animals. And second, the animals is a category that includes just as many ideas about other species of animals. Such a category is too broad for making useful generalizations about what animals and humans are and are not. So viewers who watch Disney films will not understand the difference of how a non-human animal really is and is not. For instance, Disney uses anthropomorphized non-human animals. Some appear in non-human animal form but communicate and act like humans, while others transform into non-human animals and learn valuable lessons before becoming human again, to make statements about humanity, to teach audience anthropocentric values such as humility, respect for the working class, but fails to convey any significant lessons about real non-human animals. On the other hand, Disney films have portrayed non-human animals as stereotyped. In the research, there are two types of non-human animals as stereotypes. Non-human animals stereotype according to their species, and non-human animals as human stereotype. Film often represents non-human animals as stereotyped according to their species to enhance the comic appeal. For example, the dominant characteristics of Disney's pig is their largeness, as is the case runt of the litter. Chicken Little is portrayed as an enormous piglet, clumsy due to his size, who often destroys things by accident while trying to navigate a world too small for him. The comic dimension of Runt's character is further emphasized by his warm, sensitive nature, which sharply contrasts with his intimidating size. He is sensitive and apologetic and is prone to anxiety attacks, becoming a nervous eater when under stress. In its animated features, Disney constantly introduced spider-like creatures as negative, dangerous characters. For example, Treasure Planet spider-like crew member Scroop is one of the most dangerous mercenaries, as he secretly kills Mr. Arrow by cutting his lifeline during a storm and lets Jake take the blame. Likewise, as for non-human animals as human stereotypes, there are several types that Disney portrays. There are stereotyping human typologies. For example, in the film Chicken Little in 2005, their narratives mirror human culture. The dog who works as a reporter begins his broadcast by saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, although he is surrounded entirely by non-human animals. The coach organizes the team as popular kids versus the unpopular kids. Non-human animals' characters make clear statements that identify them with humans. Some non-human animals' characters represent ethnic stereotypes. For example, in Home on the Range, Mrs. Calloway has a British accent and embodies most of the stereotypical traits associated with British people. She wears a hat, she believes that she is more superior to the other non-human animals, and appears snobbish and very proper. Other non-human characters represent gender stereotypes. Female non-human animals' characters are evaluated in terms of their physical attributes and are represented mostly as mothers and caretakers, and are very talkative, while male non-human animals pride themselves on physical strength, agility when replacing talking with action as a strategy for success. So since Disney films have been such a huge success and gain a lot of favors from the audiences, marketers automatically use their film characters as their theme to promote their brand. Whether it's fluffy toys or advertisements on television and billboards, our favorite iconic animals are used to sell everything from mobile phone to insurance. Researchers from France said that marketers had created highly visible virtual populations of these animals, which had led us to believe that animals were much more common than they actually are. Because of this misperception, there is less urgent public pressure to conserve these animals, said researcher Frank Corchamp from the University Paris-Saclay. Media have portrayed non-human animals as stereotyped but has not brought up the awareness of animal endangering. Media representations of animals deceive us about their survival in the wild. In a study published on April 12 in PLOS Biology, an international research team led by Frank Corchamp, CNRS Director of Research at the University of Paris-Saclay, France, used a combination of online surveys, school questionnaires, zoo websites, and animated movies to identify the 10 most charismatic animals. Perhaps, unsurprisingly, the tiger, the lion, and the elephant took the lead. However, the researchers were astonished to discover that these species are highly threatened in the wild, with greater declines in recent years. Researchers believe that these animals' popularity may be their downfall, leading to an inappropriate complacency about their chances of survival. For the study, the researchers also asked 42 volunteers from France, from both urban and rural areas, to document every encounter that they had with one of the 10 charismatic species in the virtual populations. In television commercial and as toys, it was remarkable how often they saw all of these animals. The research participants reported seeing 1,600 lions per year, with an average of about 4.4 per day. That means they see 2 to 3 times as many virtual lions in a single year than the total population of actual wild lions currently living in the whole of West Africa. Furthermore, since Walt Disney first dreamed up Mickey Mouse in 1928, the company has ballooned into one of the most popular and powerful brands of all time. With so many active global Disney fans and a company that just keeps growing, it's clearly that the company's marketing team is doing something right. Disney has been making an emotional imprint on people's lives since it was founded in 1923. To harness these emotions as a marketing technique, Disney has mastered the use of nostalgia by reviving old classics like The Jungle Book, which grossed $900 million when it was released in 2016. And another example of nostalgia is the Beauty and the Beast remake, which features the same story, songs, and characters as the 1991 trailer. Making the trailer so similar establishes a strong sense of nostalgia among current parents, thereby by enticing them to taking their own children to the movies. Another way Disney keeps its fans engaged is by strategically creating content for different audience segments. Disney targets this audience with an alternative medium such as toys and consumer goods. As for Korcham said, as usual, the power is in the hands of the consumer and voter. I often said that people have two very powerful weapons, their credit card and their voting ballot. If people want to change things, they really can. He said that money earned from sales of animal visible usage rights could be used to fund informational campaigns that can be effective to help raise conservation dollars. But not only by helping to raise conservation dollars, it can also help to bring the awareness and to also teach the future generations. To conclude, media representations such as non-human animals portray as stereotype, anthropomorphizing non-human animals has created a highly visible virtual populations of these animals, which has led us to believe that animals were much more common than they actually are, and it has proven that media representations can distort our perception on their extinction risk. Thank you for listening to my podcast and hope you enjoyed it.